Welcome back to another video on FinanceValue TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Michael Burry and his huge Tesla gain. If you don't know already, Michael Burry has actually made a huge gain on Tesla. In today's video, we're going to be talking about, interestingly enough, the man that bet against Elon is actually currently winning. So what did Michael Burry do and how is it panning out? So if you don't know, Michael Burry is a person that actually predicted the 2008 housing crash. And because he predicted the 2008 housing crash, he made a whopping $800 million in profit for him and his investors. So he personally made $100 million for himself, and he actually made around $800 million in the process. And this was for his hedge fund called Sion Capital. Now, what did Michael Burry actually recently do, which was kind of interesting, and how is it panning out? So Michael Burry actually shorted Tesla. And this is insane because Tesla is one of those popular stocks that's pretty much popular with everyone in the stock market. And the reason why it's even more insane, it's because it's a huge bet against Elon Musk. Now, the reason I think this is really interesting and how it's panning out is even more interesting is because Michael Burry is actually currently winning in his Tesla bet. Now, as you can see from this tweet right here, you can see that Michael Burry says, "So, at Elon Musk, yes, I'm short Tesla, but some free advice for a good guy. Seriously, issue 25 to 50% of your shares at the current ridiculous price. That's not dilution, you'd be cementing permanence and untold optionality. If there are buyers, sell that Tesla souffle." Now, what he meant by this tweet, which he actually tweeted on the 2nd of December, was that Tesla is at a currently ridiculous price. And to be honest, it kind of was. However, this doesn't mean that Tesla isn't actually priced in. It just means that he believes that Tesla is trading at a price which is way in the future and not reflecting the current value of the company, which is somewhat true. So because he says this means that he believes the price of Tesla is going to go down. Now, this wasn't his only tweet. He also tweeted again, "Well, shorts get bigger and bigger." As you can see right here, well, my last big short got bigger and bigger and bigger too. Tesla had a $60 billion increase in market cap today alone. 1 General Motors, 2 Hershey's, 3 Etsy's, 4 Domino's, 10 Vornado's, enjoy it while it lasts. So as you can see, he shows this black graph, and pretty much what this market cap of Tesla shows is just how much Tesla has grown. So one thing we need to pay attention to is the actual dates of when he tweeted this. So the first 2 tweets were on September the 2nd and on January the 8th. And the reason you need to pay attention to this is because it's absolutely insane when he tweeted it. So if we look at the Tesla stock chart, we can see that the first time he tweeted this was actually on December the 3rd. Now on December the 3rd, the price when he announced that he was short Tesla was at around $595 or at around $600 US, which is absolutely fine. This is a key part. Now, the second time, which is the most interesting thing I've ever seen, the second time he talked about tweeting Tesla, as you can see, the highest spike that Tesla was on January the 8th. And you can see that's around $879. Now, there is another spike over here, but this one is pretty much relevant because it's gone down since then. But if we look at this high spike here, this is the same day that Michael Burry tweeted his short is getting bigger and bigger. This is his short position. So we can see that if Michael Burry shorted Tesla at its peak, which was when he tweeted it, which is at around $882 or $875, you can see that it's actually a huge gain right now because Tesla is currently trading at around $670. So what's the percentage gain for Michael Burry on this huge Tesla short? Well, if we do the math, we can actually see that the price of Tesla when he said that he was going to short it, and he probably did actually place a big bet here because somehow he must have identified that this was the top. I mean, it hasn't gone higher since then, at least above, $900. I think it did probably go above $900, but that was the top. And somehow he's made a whopping, if I've done the math correctly, it's dropped around $203, meaning that his total gain should be around 23%, which is actually pretty decent. And for those of you who are seeing gains of around 50% in your portfolios and stuff like that, we have to bear in mind that this isn't normal for the S&P 500. We're currently in a bullish market, which means stocks kind of only go up. So now, as you can see right now, Tesla has actually lost around 23% of its value since he tweeted that his short position was getting bigger. So you might be wondering, how much did he make? how much did Michael Burry make on this Tesla short? Well, it just depends on how much he invested. You see, shorting a stock is very, very risky. And when you're shorting a stock, you're basically betting that the price is going to go down. Now, if the price doesn't go down, you're going to lose a ton of money. When the price does go down, you also gain a ton of money. So he gained an initial investment of 20%, well, 23% to be precise. Now, if you don't know about Michael Burry, he's actually a prolific investor. Now, it just depends on how much you invest. You see, Michael Burry actually recently made $270 million from the GameStop stock situation. And to be honest, this was a position that he actually sold early. Now, I don't know if Michael Burry has actually exited his Tesla short position. He kind of tweets things and deletes them. But what's interesting is that he actually managed to make a gain on a GameStop. Now, why am I talking about GameStop in the Tesla video? I'm going to use this $270 million as an example. So let's say we had the value of $270 million and he used this much amount to short Tesla. Now, of course, with shorting, you can leverage a short and increase your positions, and you can short with options, meaning that you're going to gain way more. But let's just use the basic example of $270 million. If we were to get 23% of $270 million, we would have a whopping $62 million. So it's clear to say that Michael Burry, who is personally worth a lot of friggin' money, could have made around $50 million plus from this, depending on how much he has done. That he could have, loaded up on options, put options with an expiry date, although we would have seen this because you're able to track this kind of stuff. Maybe it's just one big short position, and we don't know if he's actually betting on the price going lower, because this next point is actually very, very interesting. There's something that you have to pay attention to. You see, in the investing market, when big investors are actually investing in certain things, we can see these documents because they're available to the public. Now, someone who's actually invested a lot of money into Tesla recently was another prolific investor called Cathie Wood. Now, Cathie Wood has actually the opposite opinion of Michael Burry. And Michael Burry thinks Tesla's going down. Cathie Wood thinks Tesla's price target is going to be $7,000 in 2024, while a $15,000 bull case scenario. So watch this clip, or watch these two clips where Cathie Woods talk about Tesla and basically says that, well, she doesn't really talk about Michael Burry, but she pretty much says that her price target for Tesla is a very high one, and she gives all the reasoning. So it's kind of interesting to see that on this playing field, people have different scenarios.
Of where this $700 stock is in 4 years.
Yes, the base case, it's a 5-year target, so the end of 24, it's $7,000. And we've arrived at that price by weighting the probabilities of 10 different scenarios, including bankruptcy, to be honest. So we've tried to be as fair and balanced as we possibly could be, but our confidence level that this stock is heading for $7,000 over the next 5 years is very high.
So you take out your lowest probability scenarios, you take out...
Now, one thing that you need to understand is that Tesla is pretty high valuation. Just to show you how big the valuation is compared to other car companies, we can see that Tesla on the 11th of December 2020 was around $580 billion, compared to the other similar car makers, all of them combined were around $582 billion. Now, of course, these valuations have increased and decreased since then, but Tesla still remains at an insane valuation compared to these. So is Tesla overvalued? It isn't something that is crazy. To be honest, nobody really knows, unless there's going to be a huge market correction, or in a couple of years, Tesla actually hits the main price target. Now, why has Tesla gone up so much? One thing that people don't understand, and one thing that people need to pay attention to, is the Tesla short interest. Now, if we look at this graph right here, you can see that the Tesla short interest is absolutely crazy. In the last year, Tesla short sellers actually lost around $40 billion, which is absolutely insane. They all thought the price was going down, and they all lost $40 billion. But what's interesting is that with this graph, we can see that as January pops around and Tesla hits around the whopping $880 mark, we can see that the short interest peaks back up again from its yearly decline. So this is something that we could see spark the end of Tesla's insane bull run. Now, is Tesla going to level off? Of course. Maybe it's going to hit some resistance. It's probably going to hit some support levels, and we're probably going to see Tesla probably stick at around this $600 range for quite some time, considering the S&P 500 is actually correcting at the moment. So what happens now? Is Michael Burry still going to be shorting Tesla? Is he exits his position? To be honest, since ARK has invested so much into Tesla and they're betting on the price going up, and since Michael Burry has probably already made close to $50 million if he has invested a decent amount in the short position, I would say that Tesla could probably go up from here, considering the fact that if he did short the stock, he's already made a huge gain, because since then it's dropped over 20+%. So he doesn't really need to make that much more money, considering that if you invest a lot, any small percentage gain is going to be a lot of money anyways. So I would say that I don't think he's still shorting Tesla, because he's already made his gain. Now, to be honest, can Tesla still fall from here? We don't know. Many of people are thinking that there's going to be a huge market crash. And if there is, we do know that Tesla will lose a significant amount of its market cap. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this video. Do you think Michael Burry should still be shorting Tesla? Or do you think Tesla's going to the moon again? Let us know, and I'll see you all in the next video.